Welcome to Behind the Wheel, a District 7505 video series. I'm your host, Pete Berthaud. I'm a member and past president of the Marlton Rotary Club in South Jersey. And today, we're going to feature an interview with Market Development Manager for Rise Against Hunger, Brittany Reagan. Brittany, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Peter. I'm so happy to be here today.
The goal of our Behind the Wheel video series is to keep current members informed of upcoming initiatives while also showcasing our district to a broader audience. And this is kind of going to do both because we want to make sure people know about some of the charitable endeavors we're a part of and also some of the great organizations that we work with. And that would be Rise Against Hunger. So, Brittany, I want to start with what it's all about. What is maybe the primary objective of Rise Against Hunger?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just to put it simply, it's to see a world without hunger, right? We want to end hunger in our lifetime, and we do that in a couple of ways. Growing the movement, meal packaging events, right? What we're going to talk about shortly. Empowering communities, nourishing lives, and responding to emergencies. That's the way that we kind of work with those four different pillars. And that's our mission and our vision, a world without hunger, ending it in our lifetime.
And how widespread is the organization? I think when we were chatting before this interview, it's a lot bigger than I even thought it was.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have 18 locations across the United States, and we also have 6 international locations in the Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, India, Italy, and South Africa.
Oh wow. And that is part of something I didn't know is that
Yeah.
you're feeding people overseas. This is not a meal packing organization, or these meals don't go to the US. They all go overseas, and it's quite a few meals. So what's the total yearly number of meals that you guys pack?
Yeah, so our goal for this year, we're looking at hopefully being somewhere between 45 to 50 million meals that we are going to be able to pack across just our 18 locations in the
Oh my
United
gosh.
States. So that's not even considering what our 6 international locations are doing. That's just here in the United States.
And how many events per year would you say that you have, ones that Rotary will participate in, not just our club or district, but many across the country and other charitable organizations? How many events do you have a year?
Gosh, we have thousands, honestly, thousands. Our program that's close to the Marlton area that you're a part of
Yes.
is our Philly team, and our Philly team alone did about 150 to 200 last year, and they're right around 117 scheduled so far for this year. And a lot of them are Rotary clubs. They've been a huge support for us as an organization for the past 25 26 years that we've been around.
Wow. So I know you were at the recent meal packing event on 518 with our district.
Yeah.
And although you might not be at this one, I was curious to just your responsibilities within your role with Rise Against Hunger. Like what, as a market development manager, and you've had a few different roles, what are you responsible for?
Yeah. So currently, my role as a market development manager, I work with our Southeast, which I know is interesting as a person from Philly. But I work with our Southeast locations, and I help talk with new businesses and I help set them up for success. I walk them through our different opportunities, how they can engage with us, talk with them about what a meal packaging experience looks like, our Gather for Good, which is a virtual opportunity, how they can engage maybe with one of our empowering communities projects, or talk about how they can help at our warehouse. And I walk them through all of those different opportunities and find the one that works best for them.
That's great. Besides meal packing, how else does Rise Against Hunger try to obtain that world without hunger goal?
Yeah. So meal packing is super important, right? But it just starts with a meal. That's our big slogan. And that's because it just starts with that, but it doesn't end there. There's so many other ways to come at hunger. And one of those ways that we do that is by building up a community garden. We do that along some of our school feeding programs. So we're building a garden with poultry and a well and different food alongside of that school so that the community and parents can go ahead and tend to that garden. And eventually that garden will ultimately feed the kids in the school. Sometimes it looks like providing a microloan so that way someone's able to start their own business. Other times, it might be agricultural education, bringing up farmers, teaching them what kind of crops they can grow in a drought area. Maybe it's like sunflowers and turning those sunflowers into sunflower oil that they're able to sell. Other times it's food access. What does that look like? Well, maybe it means building a bridge so that way a community where they were closed off is suddenly open.
So you want to make sure they're not only getting something to eat, but they'll have future access and education to sustain them feeding themselves.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Food is great for today, but that's not going to help them tomorrow. So we want to make sure that we set them up for a place of self-sufficiency, that they eventually get to the place where they can take care of themselves.
Yeah, that's great. So this weekend's event, it's a what you call a meal packing experience, and this is
Yeah.
a Rotary District 7505 event. It's going to be on June 8th, this upcoming weekend, 9 a.m. to noon, and it's at the Lacey Charles A. Smith Community Center in Forked River, New Jersey. And I'm going to link the event below in the description so you guys can check it out. But last time I looked at it, that we had 30 volunteers. The goal is 50 volunteers. So we need people to sign up, go to the link. It's super easy. The registration link is right there. And I was curious, just if someone's never done something like this before, what can they expect? Are there various jobs to suit all fitness and age levels of volunteers?
Yeah, I always say it's good from 5 to 105, so it's good for all ages. You should expect some music. You should expect to hear a gong ring, which is very unique, and you should expect to get dirty and have some fun. You will be able to either scoop some food or seal a bag, weigh it, move those meals around. It's going to be really fast paced, but you're going to be able to connect with other people and have a really engaging time.
That's cool. And I know that you got to talk to some of the people in our district at the
Yeah,
last event, and there's a chance to chat amongst the work that's being done. There's a chance to get to know people,
yeah,
as you said.
absolutely.
So, how else can people help Rise Against Hunger? Not just going to this event or any other meal packing event. Is there anything else they can do?
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to grow a movement. We can't do this without the support of hundreds of thousands of people.
Mhm.
So every person who supports us and encourages us to grow, it's great. Whether that looks like joining with their own Rotary Club and saying, hey, we want to do this and have our own packing event, or their kids' school or their corporate group that they work with or their church, following us along on social media. Just hit the follow button and like our posts and just engage that way. Monthly donors. We really need that support because that helps fund those extra projects that I talked about. Um, Other ways, just in talking to other people about the work that we're doing. We grow by word of mouth. The more people that know what we're doing, the better it is. Rise Against Hunger as an organization in the United States, we maybe have around 100 to 125 employees, which is super small considering the massive workload that we're trying to take on. So we
Yeah.
really rely on volunteers and other people to support us in that movement so we can really see hunger end in our lifetime.
Yeah, that is incredible that you could pack 50 million meals with
Yeah,
other employees. I know that it's volunteer based,
yeah,
but like
absolutely.
getting the volunteers to be in the right places to pack those meals and
Yeah,
that's a lot for that amount of employees. So I commend you for the work that you do, and we thank you as just our district and Rotary clubs in general for the work that you do because, as we say, it's service above self. It's something that we hold dear to
yeah,
us. So thank you for being here and sharing the information with our district. And make sure if you're watching and maybe you're free this Saturday, it's just a few hours, hit the link in the description to sign up for the 9 to 12 p.m. 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. June 8th, 2024 at Lacey Charles A. Smith Community Center in Forked River, New Jersey for Rise Against Hunger. But this was informative. I really do appreciate you being here with me, Brittany.
of course. I really appreciate just being here. Thanks so much for having me and giving me an opportunity to speak.
Yeah, and if there's anything else you want to say, I feel like you said your piece, but if there are there any final words for you to just in general, anything you
Yeah,
guys have coming up other than the events with Rotary?
Absolutely. If anybody's just interested in learning more, even just checking out our website, riseagainsthunger.org, just go there. It's a wealth of information and you can see so many different opportunities. You can just look up there and see what suits you. Absolutely.
Perfect. Well, one more time, thank you. And until next time, this has been Behind the Wheel.
All right. Thank you so